Hey, what's up? What's going on? In this video, we're going to look at the differences between the Mac Mini and the Mac Studio that you can get from Apple for the purposes of building your next flight sim. The question has come up, which Mac would be the best to go with. I'll still always probably gear people towards the PC just because there's so much more flexibility in that. But I definitely, as a Mac guy, can understand where you're coming from. Let's take a quick look at the Mac. So if you go to Apple's webpage, or you go to their site and then go to the Mac Mini, you'll also see a spot for Mac Studio there. We're going to click on the Mac Mini and just take a quick look at this. So before we go any further, I will, just as we've discussed in previous videos,
bigger absolutely is better.
Without even going any further, you know that the Mac Studio is going to be bigger. It's going to have more powerful chips. It's going to have a bigger GPU. It's going to have more storage space. Everything that you can do about it, even as far as customizability and price, is going to be bigger. So by virtue of bigger is better, chances are is probably going to be the way to go. Keep in mind, if you're using Mac, you are going to be using the Mac OS. So you could be using Ventura, Sonoma, Monterey, Big Sur. You'll only have the option of running like X-Plane 11 and 12. The next thing is to look at their marketplace. Look at what aircraft it is that you're going to build, which aircraft it is that you're going to try to mimic. We've already talked about that. I would definitely recommend flight controls like a yoke, maybe some foot pedals, and a throttle quadrant. Most everything that I've seen is plug and play when it comes to those three devices, which means you can plug them into a USB port and everything pretty much just works. Basically, X-Plane reads it and you can go through and adjust it, calibrate those items. Continuing to look at this, the Mac Mini has an M2 chip, or you can get it upgraded to an M2 Pro chip, okay? When you get to the Studio, you're going to have two other options. You're going to have the M2 Max chip, and you're going to have the M2 Ultra chip, okay? Which basically give you more cores in your CPU and more cores in your GPU, okay? Also gives you the option to have more RAM. They're calling it unified memory, but it's basically RAM. It's just the Apple equivalent, and they're like, hey, we're going to be proprietary and call it unified memory just for the fun of it. It's RAM. All right, so a sweet spot, as I've recently heard it called in my comments, for the purposes of this video, of course, stick around. 32 gigabytes of RAM is probably going to be just fine. You really don't need too much more than that, because flight sims are they're more processor hungry than they are RAM hungry. So you can sit at 32. It's not going to make a big difference. Like if you go up to 64 or 128, why pay for the extra RAM if you don't really need it? Your money is going to be better well spent with a better chip. When you set up your Mac Mini, you're going to have some pretty basic ports. This is better than what I have on mine, but you're going to start out with your power cord, Ethernet, of course, basics. Any computer with a hard drive and a motherboard should have that, obviously. Power supply, right? So, but we're looking at these Thunderbolt or USB-C ports. On the basic model level for the Mac Mini, you're looking at two Thunderbolt ports. Those are probably going to be used for monitors. And then the HDMI port here, which is good. That'll give you an extra monitor port. And then you've got two USB-As. I needed like 20 USB spots. So you can get powered USB ports, but you're going to run your powered USB hubs through the Thunderbolt 4 or the USB-Cs. Now, that said, check this out. If you upgrade to the M2 Pro, you get two more of those. Now, these will also work with USB-C capable monitors. So you could run up to 4 monitors or 3 monitors, a front, maybe 2 sides, and then still have room to put a USB-C, powered USB-C hub there, which would be great because you can run those hubs and run extra monitors into those. So lots of flexibility there just by doing that one simple thing, and that's upgrading to the M2 Pro. Here's your options here, your 8, and 10, or your 10, 10, and 16. Let's look at that. I would not go any lower than that. That's going to be at your basic level stats recommended if you look at the X-Plane site. So here, you have some abilities to do some upgrades. One of them is the 19-core GPU instead of a 16-core. I would do that. Okay, so make sure that you do that. You can go from 16 to 32 gigabytes on the unified memory. That's just RAM. I would do that just to make sure that you don't have any other issues. The price is well worth it. And then a 2 terabyte SSD. By default, this will come with 512, and you could get this set up for $2,099. If you're running a flight sim, I don't know that I would do 512 at all. At least, at the absolute very least, 1 terabyte. If you're getting a Mac, future expansion is not going to be your game. What you order when you order this computer is what you will get. This is what you're going to have for a little bit, okay? So I would get the 2 terabyte if I were you. And I think that's going to be about the minimum of what you're going to want to run a flight simulator on, okay? I wouldn't run, you may not be able to run this at full graphics capacity. So just know that. That's why we're going to look at the Mac Studio. All right, true power horse. So let's look real quick at the specs. This one is not going to be that little pancake style Mac Mini that you're used to. It's going to be like 2 Mac Minis stacked on top of each other, probably mostly because this thing does have a better graphics card. It does have a better motherboard. It does have more ports. It has more power. It has more of everything that you need to run your flight simulator, right? First thing that you're going to notice is that it's got basically the same thing on the backside as what you saw with the Mac Mini. 4 USB-Cs, a 10 gigabyte Ethernet line, your power, your USB-A, and an HDMI over here. If you missed it though, this is what the front looks like. And there's 2 additional Thunderbolt ports on the front. That in and of itself, for me, would be like, yeah, I think that's probably worth the upgrade, to be honest. But also worth the upgrade is the stats. All right, so when you upgrade to that M2 Max and M2 Ultra chip, you're going to be getting more cores for your chips. Okay, you're going to get that 12 core instead of 10. Or if you upgrade again, 24 instead of 12. All right, and even that 24 is still upgradable. Your GPU jumps from like 19 max up to 38 core max with the M2 Max. And then with the M2 Ultra, you can even go as high as 76. Come over here to the Apple site, check this stuff out. I'm just kind of giving you guys some ideas here. So the real question here, which one is going to be the one that you want to pick? Let's price out a Mac Studio here and see how that works out based on what we've already talked about. So I've already talked about the different sizes. Basically, you're going to get the same ports whether you go with a Max or an Ultra. Really, the big difference is how much CPU do you want, how much GPU do you want, and do you want to upgrade it? All right, so I think you could easily go with a 60 core, probably be just fine for sure, especially if you would be just fine with half of that with the Mac Mini. Okay, I'm going to look at the M2 Ultra, and we're going to select that one and make a couple upgrades, because I do think if you go with the Mac, even though you're not going to have as much, you're not going to have as many options available to you in the actual panel build out and what you're going to use. Let's look at this here. You can upgrade from the 60 to a 76 core for $1,000. That's a pretty hefty jump there. I would stick with the M2 Ultra with a 60 core for this. Let's look at this 64 unified memory. I'm going to upgrade to the 2 terabytes. We're looking at $43.99 and a minimum of 64 gigabytes unified memory. So you're looking at pretty decent price there, $4,399. And that's comparable somewhat from an Apple perspective to the PC that I built, which came in actually right around $4,000, maybe just a little less. And actually, let's look at the M2 Max option. So we're going to build that one, and then we're going to make a couple upgrades. So the M2 Ultra with 24, 60 core there. But check this out. You can actually, never mind. I thought you could stick with the 32 gigabytes of unified memory, but apparently they still force upgrade to 64. All right. Let's look down here. You cannot get the 512, which is fine because we're still going to upgrade to this. And It actually comes out to the same price. That's what I was wondering there. If I were you, definitely before you guys jump all in on a Mac Mini or a Mac Studio, figure out what you want to build and figure out what you want in your actual physical panel, and make sure that what you want to get will work inside of that panel and that it will work with a Mac. If it does not, and it's a game breaker, you may want to turn around and walk the other way and just start looking at that PC build. Okay, so those are my thoughts and recommendations. I don't think you can go wrong with this. All of your controls are going to work just fine. Your foot pedals, your yoke, anything that you can plug in USB. I think where you're going to run into some software issues is mostly with your peripherals and avionics, things that you would be pushing and touching and playing around with on that panel itself. That's where you're probably going to run into more of your issues. We'll get more into that in another video because this one's certainly long enough already. And I just want you guys to know what your options are. For sure, I think a Mac Studio is going to be the way that you want to go. Either go with this max out on the 38 core here. If you're looking to save some money, it'll still come in at $31.99. Go with that upgraded Apple M2 Ultra, and I think you'll be pretty happy with your results either way for that one, okay? If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. What would you go with? And if you already did go with the Mac, tell me how it turned out. All right? I'll talk to you guys soon. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys in another video. Take care. Hey, if you haven't already done so, head over to EliteSimBuild.com, grab a copy of our Home Flight Simulator Resource Guide. Do that thing where you click the button, give us your email address, and we will send you a copy of our simulator guides where you can get the resource list, the avionics reviews, a panel blueprint, so that way you guys can send that off to your panel guy, get all the parts and pieces that you need. You'll know exactly what software to pick up so you can get your Cessna 172 flight simulator built today.